Welcome audience to Nautilus podcast. I'll be your host, Alexander Wolfheze, and for the occasion of this first episode, I would like to make a few introductory remarks about its purpose and about its form. First, it's important to note that I'm striking out on my own, so from this point onwards, I will not be speaking on behalf of or part of or in consultation with a larger organization or a larger outfit, dissident right or otherwise. That does not mean I will not be closely cooperating with and consulting with various other individual dissidents. And in this respect, I would like to express my thanks here to Dr. Kevin Barrett of Truth Jihad for his kind advice and for hosting some of my podcasts. The reason I'm taking my leave from dissident right associations and organizations at this point is simply because I consider the dissident right to be defunct, effectively. I believe that since the start of the Great Reset, the free space for speech and thinking in Europe has been shrinking. And the effectiveness of any kind of organization or any kind of outfit on a larger cooperative scale has been significantly diminished and degraded. So I believe it's better for individual podcasters to do their best without being engaged in larger projects, which of course run the risk of being censored and of being manipulated. Nautilus. So, of course, the name Nautilus, it has many associations. The first that comes to mind is, of course, that of the living fossil, which is hosting the inkfish in a beautiful shell. And this Nautilus, of course, is something that here also is important because this beautiful shell, it shows logarithmic spirals that probably symbolize something we should all aspire to, and that is the pursuit of logic and reason. Then, of course, there is the name Nautilus that is from Greek and simply means sailor. And that, of course, refers to the most famous sailor of all associated with the name Nautilus. And that is Captain Nemo, no less, of the beautiful book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So this hero in that book, Captain Nemo, he is, of course, somebody that sought to fight an overpowering and a great enemy by submarine warfare, secretive warfare of unconventional nature. He took to the seas to do that. And that brings us to the philosophy of the sea that he aspired to, and that we may take a few quotes from the book to express and to explain to people what the philosophy of the sea can bring to dissidents in Europe now. As we all know, stable points of reference, grounding has been denied to any kind of authentic thinking, authentic opinionating, authentic research, and authentic publicity since the Great Reset in Europe. And the sea is then the only refuge that remains, the place that is the last refuge of the free. Philosophy of the sea. Captain Nemo himself said, "The sea is everything. It covers 7/10 of the terrestrial globe. Its breath is pure and healthy. It's an immense desert where man is never lonely, for he feels life steering on all sides. The sea is a vast and powerful force representing both the known and the unknown. It's a symbol of freedom and isolation, as well as a source of inspiration and tranquility." And of course, this brings us to the strategy issue that the dissident right has faced and that remaining dissidents still face. And that is from what point to ground our references, to ground our resistance movement. And I think there is no longer such place. So fluidity and the sea element is what is useful here. Now, of course, in this podcast series, I'll be speaking from a traditionalist point of view, so that ties in quite nicely with the living fossil status of the beautiful seashells called Nautilus. Of course, traditionalism is more living than fossil, but it is a good reminder, worthwhile for all of us. And in this regard, it is also good to still quote one more part of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So concerning the living fossil status. With its untold depths, could not the sea keep alive such huge specimens of life from another age? This sea that never changes while the land masses undergo almost continuous alteration. Could not the heart of the ocean hide the last remaining varieties of this titanic species, for whom years are centuries and centuries are millennia?